So, you're wondering how to shoot photo and video at the same time so you can add hybrid photo and video into your session without missing any key moments, without panicking, and without feeling like you need to completely change how you shoot. In this episode, I've got you covered with a simple hybrid shooting system so you can stop guessing when to toggle between photo and video, stop overshooting photos, and stop walking away from sessions with 1,000 photos and almost no usable video.
Hybrid Hangout is literally what it sounds like. This is a place to hang out and talk about what it takes to build a photography business, especially if you're even a little bit curious about adding video. I'm Shay, and I'm so stoked that you've come to hang out with me and talk about the stuff I'm already thinking through after a week of running my photo video business. Here you're gonna find conversations about why photographers are booked up and yet still so stressed about money, why being photo only has a financial ceiling, and why adding video is one of the simplest ways to raise your average booking without blowing up your workload. I shoot photo and video at weddings, sometimes solo, sometimes with a team, and I sell high packages because I'm selling photos and simple story-driven video with the equipment I'm already using. Hybrid Hangout is where I talk about how I do that, how I shoot hybrid photo video in a way that doesn't make the day harder, how I edit both mediums quickly without it taking over my life, how I package and price photo and video so it sells without feeling weird, how I market so things compound instead of resetting every month. There will be strategy. There will be rants. There will be very specific systems. There will be side quests about business, money, confidence, burnout, gear, clients, boundaries, and whatever else I'm deep into at the time. This podcast is about building a smarter photography business, one that includes motion and paying you better. If you like photography, you like money, and you like learning in a way that feels more like hanging out than being taught at, you will probably love Hybrid Hangout. So come on, let's hang out.
I get it. Me too. For a long time, the thing that made hybrid photo and video feel harder than it needed to was thinking there were photo moments and video moments, and that I had to decide which one I was in. That belief is what makes photographers freeze. You hesitate, you overthink, and you default right back into photo, 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 because that is where you feel fast and confident. But hybrid shooting is not two separate photo shoots and video shoots. It's one session, one flow, one story, and you're not rebuilding your photo workflow. You're just changing how you think about the shots you're already taking and what those shots are doing for storytelling. And you're trying to stop overshooting, holding that shutter button with your photos. Be honest if you do that. Hey, my name is Shayna, and I teach photographers how to shoot, edit, market, and sell photo and video together in a simple, repeatable way so you can make more money per booking without making your workflow harder. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through exactly when to toggle between photo and video, how the 5 clips method actually works, and how to move through a real session without scrambling or overthinking. If you keep approaching hybrid shooting photo and video like it's something separate or complicated, a few things happen. You freeze because you don't know what to film. You overshoot photos because holding down the shutter button feels safer than switching to video mode. You leave sessions with way too many duplicate photo frames and almost no footage that works in editing. You start thinking that hybrid photo and video has to feel chaotic when really you've just never had a structure that works for you. And you either stop trying to shoot video at all or you capture random clips that don't do anything and editing feels impossible. Hybrid Hub is where photographers learn how to sell video because continuing to leave money on the table is getting embarrassing. This is for the already booked, already talented, high capacity photographers who keep doing the same amount of work for the same amount of money, and then wondering why the bank account is not matching your booked up calendar. The fix is not another rebrand. The fix is not a mindset shift that magically pays your bills. The fix is learning how to shoot video on real jobs, edit it without a weeks-long spiral, market photo video offers with an actual plan, and sell video with language that makes people say, okay, obviously we want that. Hybrid Hub teaches video like a revenue skill, not a personality. You are not joining some weird YouTube bro cult. You are not applying for membership in the male videography ego society where everyone talks about codecs and drones and looking cool while their clients are confused and their business is shaky. You're learning how to capture what matters. You learn how to tell a story, deliver something clean, and charge accordingly. You learn the shooting system, the 5-clip method, the editing workflow, the delivery process, the packaging and pricing, the inquiry and sales flow, and the marketing structure that keeps you visible. This is how video becomes a normal upsell and your booking value changes because your offer is simply better. This is an action-first room. Messy action is the price of admission. Fast decisions are the culture. The people who win are the ones who implement like it's their job because it is. They film on the next shoot. They edit the next project. They post the next piece of content. They test their offer. They adjust. They move again. They don't hoard info, and they don't say, I'm going to watch a training before I start. Hybrid Hub is built for go-getters who want structure, accountability, and real results, who are willing to be a little unhinged about follow-through. The Hybrid Hub community is the best in the industry. It is funny, blunt, supportive, and extremely allergic to fluff. This is a women-led, anti-posturing, anti-gatekeeping, and pro-let's make money and still be ourselves community. People swear. People share their wins loudly. People get feedback without needing it wrapped in bubble wrap. People show up. People take each other seriously. It feels like hanging out with your smartest, funniest friends who also happen to be building businesses on purpose instead of winging it and hoping the algorithm saves them. If you're ready to join, then welcome. If you need to chat about if Hybrid Hub is the right next step for your specific business, then book a free one-on-one strategy call. Either way, I'll see you soon. When you understand the rhythm and you understand what each shot is doing, everything calms down. You stop reacting and you start shooting with purpose. You stop taking 20 versions of the same photo and you start replacing those useless frames with clips that actually move the story forward for your video. You leave sessions with enough variety to edit something strong. Your brain is quieter because you're not guessing anymore. And hybrid shooting starts to feel efficient instead of chaotic. The biggest shift you need to make is realizing the toggling between photo and video is not a big decision you need to make. It's a rhythm. You take the photo, you toggle to video, you grab the clip, and you move on. That is the whole thing here. The reason this feels hard is because most photographers overshoot photos. You get into a moment, you like it, and you hold that shutter button down. You take 10, 15, 20 photos of the exact same thing because you want to make sure you got it. And then later you're stuck culling tiny variations of the same frame, and it is a waste of time. If you can take 2 or 3 photos of that moment, you can then toggle between photo to video and capture a clean 5 to 7 second clip instead of all of those extra photos. You're not adding work, you're replacing duplicate photo frames with something that actually builds the story for the video. This is where my signature 5 clips method comes in. It gives your brain something to anchor to so you're not standing there wondering if it's worth filming. The 5 clips that I teach are a wide shot, a long shot, a close-up, details, and B-roll. Each one of these types of clips has a job. When you understand what each one does, you stop randomly shooting and you start building a story on purpose. The wide shot orients the viewer. It tells us where we are, the space, the environment, the world the subject is in. Without this, everything feels disconnected because there's no sense of place. The wide shot grounds the story so everything else makes sense. The long shot then shows your subject moving within that space that you established. So this is walking, turning, shifting, interacting. It makes your video feel alive instead of static. And with a long shot, I like to define this as feet up or waist up of your subject. Then the close-up has your subject filling the frame, and it tells us about who the subject actually is. We're thinking expressions, reactions, the parts that make it personal. This is what pulls the viewer in and makes them care about the subject themselves. Then, when I say detail shots, I'm talking about details about the subject. And think about what matters to them: the hands, the dress, the rings, the way they're holding something, adjusting something, interacting with something or someone. Details make the story specific to that person and that moment. And then finally, the fifth clip is B-roll. This shifts attention away from the subject. This is what they are seeing and what is happening around them. Think about like leaves or waves or clouds, anything they might be seeing or experiencing in that moment. This is what helps close storytelling gaps in editing and keeps the film from feeling like it's only focused on the subject the entire time. Now, the important thing is you're not trying to get this perfectly or in a strict order every single time. You are using them as a guide so you do not leave a moment too early. Most photographers get one photo and then move on, or they get stuck overshooting the same thing. What you are doing instead is staying in the moment just a little longer and making sure you have enough footage. This is where your earlier habits matter. If you're used to holding the shutter down, you have to break that habit. Get a good photo, and then your next instinct should be to toggle to video and grab a clip. Same moment, same setup, you're just letting it move. This works really well in documentary and transitional moments because movement is already happening. Getting ready, people walking, people interacting, small in between moments. That is where video naturally fits without adding pressure. Those are also the moments photographers tend to interrupt. Be honest, like, do you tend to ask questions, fix things, you insert yourself because silence feels uncomfortable? Let's try to change that, friend. If you could step back and let people do what they're already doing, those moments become perfect for video. For more posed moments, you can still use this. Just understand that photo is usually the priority. You get the photo first, then you toggle between photo to video and grab a short clip of the same setup. You're not trying to turn every posed moment into a video production. You're just not leaving the pose immediately. If you're a photographer who already knows you want to add video, but you keep getting stuck in research mode instead of actually offering it, then listen to this. Because your clients are already asking about video. And every time you don't offer it, you're leaving thousands on the table from work you're already doing. I put together a free video upsell starter kit that shows you exactly how to fix that. No film school, no complicated setup, just 5 clear steps to start adding video using the camera you already have, or simple add-ons like Super 8 or even your iPhone. You'll learn how to pick your entry point, start practicing in a way that builds demand, add video to your pricing right away, and turn it all into real bookings. If you want to make more per wedding without taking on more clients, this is where you start. Grab the free video upsell starter kit now. For time-sensitive moments like a first look or a first kiss, you need to be realistic. If you want both at a high level, you either need an assistant at another angle or you need to be comfortable handling 2 cameras. I have students out here double fisting Super 8 cameras. Otherwise, pick your priority and execute it well. Hybrid shooting is about intention, not trying to prove you can do everything at once, even though I actually think I can. One of the biggest things that will make or break your editing is how much B-roll you get. Early on, this is where most people fall short. They do not get enough B-roll. They think it's an option or an extra, but it's not. It's what saves your ass when you're editing. B-roll gives you transitions, it fills gaps, it connects clips that would otherwise feel disjointed. If you don't have enough B-roll, everything will feel harder later. So if you're unsure while shooting, get more B-roll. Another mistake is trying to make everything perfect in camera. Video doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be usable. And editing is where the story comes together anyway. If you are always freaking out or waiting for perfect footage, you might hesitate and miss things. Your job in the moment is to get one clean version and move on. This is why hybrid shooting only becomes instinctive through real sessions and practice. You can't think your way or research your way into this. You have to do it. Bring the 5 clips method into a real session you would normally shoot photo only. Follow the rhythm, take the photo, toggle between photo and video, grab the clip, and move on. Pay attention to where you're overshooting. Pay attention to where you hesitate. Pay attention to where video naturally fits. And repeat until your brain stops treating it like something new. If this is landing, the most important thing to understand is that the 5 clips method is not there to make you overthink. It is there to keep your brain calm so you always know what to do next. Now that you know when to toggle between photo and video and what each of the 5 clips is doing, the next step is to bring this into a real session until it becomes automatic. This is the workflow of a hybrid shooter. This is how you stop freezing, stop overshooting, and actually leave with enough to tell a story. Your job now is repetition. Take the photo, toggle between photo and video, grab the clip, and move on. One clean version of each clip is enough. If you want help applying this to your business, I offer free one-on-one strategy calls where I look at how you're currently shooting, where you're getting stuck, and how to integrate hybrid photo and video in a way that makes sense for you. And if it makes sense, we will talk about my coaching program, Hybrid Hub, and how to implement all of this with support. You can book that call at the link in the description. And in another episode, we will be breaking down how to edit your video in a way that is fast and repeatable, so all of this actually fits into your current workflow. I can't wait to chat with you soon.
Beautiful, gorgeous, perfect